What if I told you that the Roman Empire had siege engines, flame weapons, and mechanical monsters that modern engineers still can't fully explain? Not just catapults and battering rams. Machines that could fire hundreds of arrows in seconds. Machines that shot streams of liquid fire that water couldn't extinguish. Machines that seemed to move on their own. This is the wild, buried story of Rome's impossible war machines, and the terrifying secret behind how they really worked. In 212 BC, during the siege of Syracuse, the Romans faced something they had never seen before. Archimedes, the greatest inventor of the ancient world, had built defensive machines for the city. One device could lift entire Roman ships out of the water using giant claws and drop them to their doom. Another used mirrors to focus sunlight and set Roman ships on fire from a distance. The Romans called it the Claw of Archimedes. Modern engineers still debate how it worked. Some say it was physically impossible with the technology of the time. But the Romans saw it with their own eyes and lost hundreds of men to it. Then there's Greek fire, the legendary weapon used by the Byzantines, the Eastern Roman Empire. A liquid that burned on water. A flame that couldn't be extinguished by normal means. Ships coated in it would burn for hours. The exact formula was a state secret so closely guarded that it was lost when Constantinople fell. Some historians believe it contained naphtha, quicklime, and other chemicals. But the real question is, how did the Romans and Byzantines develop chemistry so advanced that we still can't perfectly recreate it today? The Romans also built massive siege towers, ballistae that could fire giant bolts, and even early steam-powered devices. But some accounts describe machines that seem to defy logic. Moving statues that guarded temples. Automatons that poured wine or played music. War machines that appeared to operate with a mind of their own. The deeper you dig into Roman engineering, the more it feels like they had access to knowledge that should have been impossible for their time. Here's the wildest part that historians rarely talk about. Some ancient texts hint that the Romans didn't just invent these machines. They found knowledge from older, forgotten civilizations. They recovered artifacts from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and even older lost cultures. Some say they made deals with powers they didn't fully understand. That the real secret behind Rome's greatest weapons wasn't engineering. It was something much older. Something that came with a price. Every time Rome used these advanced machines, something seemed to go wrong. Cities that were conquered with these weapons often suffered strange plagues or curses afterward. Soldiers who operated the most powerful devices sometimes went mad or disappeared. The empire that built the most advanced war machines of the ancient world eventually collapsed under its own weight. Some say the machines they created were never truly theirs. They were borrowed from something that eventually wanted them back. The Romans left behind roads, aqueducts, and ruins that still stand today. But the most advanced machines they built were lost or deliberately destroyed. Maybe because the Romans finally realized they were playing with forces they couldn't control. Maybe because the price of that power was too high. Today we look at Roman engineering and call it genius. But perhaps the real story is darker. Perhaps the greatest empire the world had ever seen was powered by secrets it was never meant to possess. And perhaps some of those secrets are still buried beneath the ruins, waiting for someone to dig them up again. And perhaps some of those secrets are still buried beneath the ruins, waiting for someone to dig them up again. The end. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe the Romans had access to technology or knowledge that was too advanced for their time? Subscribe to Random Vibe Spark for more insane hidden history, wild ancient mysteries, and reality-bending facts that will blow your mind.